very much alike.
Remember all the happy times we had.
Very much alike. All right. I'll tell you the truth.
And right on time, I finished typing the YouTube notification for going live today. Welcome in, friends! How are we? Hello, hello. Crazy Chef trying to single-handedly start a hype train in the intro. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much for the 6 months and the 6 gifted subs. One for every month you've been subscribed. Dan Grice, thank you for the 21. Month short, I know. Would have been so close. Magpie Live, thank you for the 6 months. Welcome on in. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon to those of you for whom it is the afternoon, like me. How's everyone doing? Chopping at 116 because your laptop can't handle a higher version very well. Have you looked into sodium and Optifine and stuff? Because some of those are useful for keeping the resource usage down. Netcat with a 300 bits. Looks like that's a hype train, folks. If anyone wants to get yourself some exclusive Twitch emotes, then you can use your Prime Gaming sub here. You can subscribe with your own hard-earned cash. You can cheer some bits. You can resub if you got one handy. You can even gift some subs if you're feeling generous. But that'll get you some emotes courtesy of our overlords here on Twitch. Nixcraft, thank you for the 200 bits. Zealmans with the 17 months. Good to see you. Welcome back. It's going to be another hats. The secondary hat stream. I mean, it could happen, but it's optimistic. It takes some pretty immense effort to get to a full level 5 hype train. But I appreciate the effort. I Dream of Wombles, thank you for the 5 months. Sam Garofalo with 100 bits. Jezzaguy with the 2 months. Thank you all. Hope you're all well. So today, it's 2 Tuesday, which means it's Choppin Tuesday. Of course it is. Steph May, thank you for the 8 months. Throwlash with a 32. It's got a 2 in it. It counts. Jezzaguy gifting a sub as well. Thank you so much. Almond with the 7 months says thank you for being excellent. Thank you for being excellent. I do have the hype train on super hard. Yeah, it's on one of the higher difficulty settings. Hello, hello. Thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate that very much. Thank you for using your Prime sub here. One of the Streamer of the Year nominees hit level 5 hype train with just 100 viewers. I mean, that can happen. There's a difficulty setting for it where the hype train only starts if like a ton of stuff happens in chat. And it only progresses with like a lot of support. For like the larger streamers who would hit level 5 hype train and go like thousands of % into the level 5. Why didn't I upload a video today? If you read my Twitter or my YouTube community page, I explained that I simply did not have time yesterday. I'm typically in the workflow of the survival guide now where I make an episode the day before it gets uploaded, and then I edit it that evening, I post it, and then it goes up like 12 hours later, basically.
Well, that's
and
just
yesterday it turned out I was quite busy. I had other bits and pieces to take care of. I had some cleaning and home maintenance to do around the house. We also recorded an episode of the podcast where Sliced Lime from the Minecraft team came on to talk to us about game development and the Deep Dark and like all of the stuff that he does for content creation and being like the tech lead for Minecraft. So yeah, we had a podcast recording that was a different time of day, and like that changed my schedule around enough that I just didn't end up being able to make an episode. That will be remedied by the fact that I can make an episode today, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to be working on bits and pieces of Nether Hub stuff. This next episode is going to be about linking portals and how to do that more accurately using coordinates and like adjusting for Y values where you need to and stuff like that. And so we're going to be working on connecting the portals that I've got already set up in the world via a more coordinated system of tunnels. And so today we're going to be chopping a lot of the Nether in order to do that. We're not going to be making like an entire like circular central hub thing like I did last time, because that was a lot of effort. It never even got finished, and I don't think it looked all that great in the grand scheme of things. So I'm probably going to do a different design. I'm not quite settled on an idea yet, but the first thing I want to do is clear out the entire like tunnel system, make sure the nether portals are in the right place, make them spawn proof so that we don't get interference from piglins and so forth, and we can run around from tunnel to tunnel wearing whatever armor we want to without piglins getting in the way. We could also put a bartering setup in there at some point if we want to. We could do all sorts of stuff with it, really. But the idea for today is at least going to be to clear out some of the space. Dogman Jack, thank you for the 500 bits. Hit Died 6 with the brand new tier 1 sub to the channel. Enjoy your emotes and your sub badge. Welcome to the Pixels. Useless Rogue and Beautiful Minded, thank you for the 100 bits each. And Exodus, thank you so much for the 500.
Well,
very kind of you. Nerd Builder with the 2 months of Prime. And we are most of the way through level 2 on that hype train. So let's get into it. Let's do the thing we do where we play Minecraft. We are not breaking Bedrock. No, not at all. You don't need to make a nether hub on the ceiling. Lots of people do, but you don't need to. Today we're going to be making it inside the nether itself. And the reason for that is because it helps to have access to the rest of the nether. And honestly, breaking Bedrock is unnecessary, even if you want to make your hub on the nether roof. Like, nether portals will link from the overworld to the nether roof now without you having to break Bedrock at all. And frankly, I don't know if we will break Bedrock for reasons other than aesthetics. At any point in this series. It seems unnecessary to me. Oh my goodness, another avalanche of support comes through for the hype train. Blue Sky's up, thank you so much for the 500 bits. Crazy Chef with another 5 gifted subs. Must be a hype train conductor at this point. Honey Toast with the 6 months. Winnie T. Ford with the 19. Thank you all. Very, very much. Very generous of you. So one of the things I'm going to do to start with, because we haven't really, like, done a great deal of this already. I need to get a lot of obsidian, because we're going to be moving portals around, we're going to be stretching portals, making them bigger, that kind of thing. So I think we're going to go to the end with a shulker box and just fill up on obsidian. Maybe not fill up the shulker box, because that's going to take a while, but we'll at least get enough portal material that will last us for a little while. And, like, the shulker box is a bit optimistic, I will admit, but I want to start using shulker boxes more in general, so let's just do it. And we'll throw some of the other stuff that we have in here in a shulker box. Or we'll, I think I have like netherrack overstock in here. We'll put some of this other stuff into my storage system. And that way we will have a bit more space in the inventory. But then the shulker box can just be where we put all of the portal material for later. What do I think of the Warden going after bats? It's fine if no bats actually get into the Deep Dark, but right now mobs don't avoid the Deep Dark biome if they spawn elsewhere, and the Deep Dark does tend to generate around other areas of caves, or at least ancient cities do, and ancient cities are where you're going to encounter most of the skulk and stuff anyway, so it obviously still needs a bit of refinement, the Warden snapshots, but it's pretty funny if the Warden does go after bats, because at least it gives you a reprieve from the Warden being after you. That's how I feel about it anyway. Let's put those in there for now. We've got a bunch of bones and bone meal that we can throw down here. This is typically the chest I've been leaving skeleton drops in, but I don't have many of them. And that should do. So now I have to remember where the end is, which is always fun. Oh yeah, we still got the gamma filter on. My mistake. My bad. There we go. Better. Why am I not using my elytra? I don't have a gunpowder farm yet, so it's kind of difficult to get hold of gunpowder without just going and killing creepers at night, which I don't really feel like doing, to be honest. What's up, Ray? Good to see you. So yeah, I've moved a couple of my portals around for an explanation of how portal linking works, and I think if we head this way, we end up, after this family of piglins gets out of the way, we end up getting to the end via a tunnel that kind of leads out over here, I think. Did we go this way? I think we went this way. Sort of out this side of the Nether Fortress, I think, is the way we go. I just remember the portal to the Stronghold being on the edge of a cliff somewhere like here. So maybe it's not quite here? See, this is why I need a Nether Hub. This is why we're doing what we're doing in the first place. Is so that I don't get lost on the way to important landmarks like this. I have the coordinates somewhere, I just don't know which one of the coordinates I've taken it is in my screenshots folder. Devin, thank you for the 9 months of tier 2. Thank you very much. Peregrine with the 200 bits, Arwen with the 100. All the Lord of the Rings names are showing up in my chat today, apparently. Oh, hey, with a skeleton. I've already got my first Wither Skull. It's actually in tomorrow's episode. So I'm kind of excited about that. Oh, almost had me hit a pig, man. Could have been bad there. But yeah, we'll fight the Wither at some stage. I don't know quite when. Will I watch the Lord of the Rings TV show? Probably. We don't have Amazon Prime right now, so we'd have to figure out some way of getting hold of that. But, yeah, I do think I will be watching the show. The trailer looks promising, at least. This certainly isn't chopping. It will be chopping once we get to the end. I just can't remember the route to the portal. Because that's that storage system. I'm pretty sure I went this way, and maybe it's like... Because there's a tunnel that goes off to one side over here, which leads towards the desert and stuff. I wonder if I took this and then I went in a different direction from here? EHL Live, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. That looks like the end of the hype train, folks. Thank you all for the support. Hope you all enjoy your hype train emotes. There's even a Lord of the Rings anime movie coming out. I know. It's starting to get like Star Wars, where it's like, we have 7 things planned for this. I'm like, can we just do one at a time, please? It's a lot for me to keep up with. I don't remember it being over this way either. I've just got completely lost on the way to my own end portal. You did get conductor. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Brucey Main, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome on in. The Minecraft movie is still coming out in March of this year. Is it, though? Having heard nothing about it up until this point, like, I would be surprised if we see much of that. Yes, yes, I know, you're blazes. I'm going to have to look this up. Because I don't know where the Stronghold portal is. I went back and forth to it a couple of times. I thought I had the location more or less memorized. Or like the route to it, at least. But apparently I did not. Is it this one? Negative 85, 238. Well, 238 seems to be in the right direction here. So we were kind of headed the right way. We need to be way further this way, though. I'm pretty sure this is the one. Wait a second. The other way. That might be where I was tripping myself up. I definitely didn't go this way to get to it the first time. Alright, let me take this screenshot away. There we go. Nope, this is just a little weird little alcove. It's also at Y81, so it's like above where we are right now. Okay, we're headed in the right direction if we go this way, though. There it is. Hello. Gonna get this lot out of the way before they become a problem. Hoglins always become a problem. Especially the little ones. Yeah, it's like over there. Wait, is that even the right... I don't think that's the right one. I think that's one of the other ones, because that doesn't look like there's a land bridge that I can walk over to it. So I think that's one of the ones that's in an awkward place. Gosh, I've got the wrong one. Okay, Northwest Stronghold. Ugh. Where are you? Okay, I think I took the overworld coordinates for this one, but not the nether side coordinates. Sorry, folks, this is just not entertaining. 1898 divided by 8, 237. Okay, so it is over that way. It's 237 and like negative 50. Alright, as we were. 237, negative 50. Now I need to look at the coordinates while I'm not falling in lava. We can actually go back through the Nether Fortress then. It's me refinding the Stronghold Tuesday. Yep. It's pretty much what's going on. So it's actually like that way. Which makes sense. I just don't remember going that way. Maybe I went through here? Alright, this is seeming a lot more familiar. Ginger, thank you for gifting a sub. Sweet Sunny Dream with the 10 months as well. Thank you very much. Yes, no. I remember this now. Because we went out this way. Because I was worried about this bridge, which I absolutely should be. This bridge is a nightmare. but I can at least eat a couple of carrots. Shoot that guy before he becomes a problem. Later.
Well, that's just prime.
But it's over there. It's like up on this ridge of Crimson Forest here. Yeah, it's even within, like, eye shot of that nether fortress. It's just over here somewhere. Up there, maybe? Yeah. Dream96, thank you for the 13 months. Awake WR with the Prime sub. Thank you very much for the Prime sub. Yeah, we need to be higher than this. Need to be up a little higher. And Shenko with the 222 bits. Appreciate that very much. How appropriate. Down here? Like that hoglin wouldn't be there if it was. Needs to be further over this way. But then down a bit. Confused about this, but it's also negative 50, so we need to be further inland. Which I'm fine with. It's like, yeah, here. Just dig on through. 237. Now we've gone over it now. But I guess the coordinates in the Nether weren't always going to be exactly the coordinates in the overworld. Just trying to figure out where it was. I think maybe up there. I know it was by a large lava lake. So I'm thinking it was over here somewhere. My Nether all Crimson Forest? It pretty much is. Which I'm personally not the biggest fan of, but most of the stuff I spend a great deal of time in is Crimson Forest anyway. This is why I brought the shulker box. It's not even for the obsidian, it's for the netherrack. I have no idea where I am anymore. Where even is this? Oh, there we go. Well. Yep, that has not got us any closer to figuring out where we're supposed to be. Very confused by this now. Like, I know I left myself the route over here using the the bridge that I'd already built out in this direction. But I'm like, where is the portal? Who's that? Thought I saw something. Maybe it's just a weird particle. Figment of my imagination. Again, I thought I could see this nether fortress from there. And it was like up there somewhere, but that's where we just came from.
Well, that's just prime.
It sure is. Large and Brewer with the Prime sub. Thank you very much. Oh, there's just hoglins everywhere now. This is getting to be a frustration. Would have been faster to go there in the overworld. Oh, there it is. See, this is the problem, is that I'm looking at the coordinates in the... overworld portal. But I'm not taking into account the height. There we go. Easy. So that's how you find your nether portal that you've lost. There we go. We're in. And just pick up all of the stuff that I've thrown on the ground in a different room. There's our vines! The problem is now they've grown. We can't update that block or the vines will disappear. So we'll throw out some of this. We'll reclaim it later. I think, in fact, we may as well just keep most of it because we can put it in a shulker box. Like I said, we're not going to be filling this shulker up with obsidian anyway, so... And hey, now we have a lot more food, so that worked out okay. Let's go say hi to the Enderman. New PB and finding portals, yeah. Alright, time to mine some obsidian then. Why not take the cords of the portal? We will at some point. I know roughly where it is now. And the problem is not that I don't know the coordinates. The problem is that I don't have a route out there. Like, you can know the coordinates of something, but it's still a pain to get to in the nether because you don't always know which direction you're headed in, whether it's up or down from where you are, that kind of stuff. So it's really going to be much more about creating accessible paths to those places. How much obsidian? Enough to make like a decent amount of nether portals. I'm thinking a couple of stacks at least. Have I went pure exploring in Minecraft? No progress, just gathering stuff, going where the world takes you? Yeah, I do that all the time. We've done it on streams a couple of times. It's always fun. Why the end for obsidian? Yeah, it's renewable. And it's a guaranteed source of lots of obsidian, so that, you know, in making a lava farm in the last episode, a lot of people were like, oh, so this is an obsidian farm then? And I kind of went, well, not really, because in order to turn that amount of lava into obsidian, you've got to do it one at a time, really. Or you've got to place it in a large area, pour a water bucket over it, and break it all again. You may as well just come here where there's a ton of obsidian already made, and all you have to do is break it. Because the stuff that feels tedious about it, the stuff that kind of slows you down, is the stuff that you have to think about in the process of doing something like, you know, placing a bucket of lava, placing a bucket of water, breaking the obsidian block it forms, doing that over and over again. You're switching around stuff in your hotbar, you're making sure you don't put the lava in the same block as another piece of lava. Like, it just gets a little bit kind of difficult to zone out. Whereas with this, I can just hold down the left-click button harvest a bunch of obsidian and talk to you all in the chat. Like, it's it's fine. Why can't you make a nether portal in the end? How would that work? Like, when you went through that nether portal, how would it know to connect back to the end? Like, it works if there are 2 dimensions and you're just treating the portal as a doorway between those 2 dimensions. But if you introduce a 3rd dimension, it's like, well, how does the game know? How does it choose? Farm some ender pearls? No, I can just buy them from clerics. I don't need to farm ender pearls while I'm here. I've got a stack in my ender chest. I'll do fine for now. One of the other things I want obsidian for, really, is to make ender chests as well, because I've run out of those now. I've placed them in lots of different areas. Are we going to be accessing the nether roof? Nah. We're going to do that eventually in the series, but probably for farms and stuff, primarily, and we might build a nether hub up there eventually, but I don't really see the point in just using the nether roof for that. I kind of prefer having access to the rest of the nether, and yes, it saves you a bunch of work, like clearing out blocks, but it also means the problem becomes one of less accuracy. Like, if you're building portals to the nether from low down places in the overworld, it's not going to link to the nether roof automatically, so you have to create your portal in the overworld, go through to the nether via a different place, and then link that to the nether hub if you built it on the nether roof. Whereas if you build your nether hub in the nether cavern, it's easier to link up portals that the game naturally makes when you go through from the overworld to the nether. You also get to take advantage of, like, a height-based portal system where you can teleport to 2 different portals in the same place, separated by different height values, but at roughly the same coordinates, if you take into account that one portal needs to be built higher than the other. Whereas if you build on the nether roof, the lowest you can build a portal is 128, which means it's always going to connect to the higher portal. You can't do a great deal of stuff with portals that connect lower down in the world. Like, people have used the nether roof for nether hubs frequently. It's been relatively successful, but you've got to take into account what you want to do long term. What design am I going for the nether hub? I haven't really decided yet. I think what I did in the last season of Survival Guide with the giant circle and everything was not the best approach, because it turned into a project that I didn't want to maintain. I would like to do something that's more like a series of rooms this time, or maybe has some other kind of design going for it. I just want it to be, for now, a spawn-proof area that we can travel through. And we'll figure out the style of it a little later. The other thing you've got to consider with the nether hub is how often are you going to see it from the outside? Does the design of the outside particularly matter, or is it much more about how you design the space as an interior? Today's video is dedicated to nether hub work, or more accurately, the process of linking portals correctly so that you can travel short distances in the overworld as well as long distances and not have portals connecting to the same nether portal. How far apart do portals need to be in the overworld to avoid overlap in the nether? I think you can have them as close as, like, 8 blocks, really. But honestly, like, it can come down to, like, fractions of blocks. You can have one portal in the nether that goes to 2 different portals in the overworld, and just whichever side of the portal you stand in is which location you go to, because what it's doing is, like, effectively drawing a straight line to the nearest nether portal in the overworld and taking you there. So as long as you're smart about it and you understand that the Euclidean distance has to be like the shortest possible distance to that portal, you can have one portal in the Nether go to multiple different places. That doesn't work quite so well for mods like immersive portals, which I've seen a couple of people mention already. What's been the project I've learned the most from? Honestly, on Survival Guide, it was probably the first iron farm, because that was literally the first time I'd ever done something like that. And once I understood the mechanics, it was like a switch had flipped in my head, and I was like, okay, so this isn't like a big deal in terms of redstone, like some of the other farms I've seen. Like, obviously, farms like the Iron Titan involved a lot of redstone because you were moving slime blocks around, and the kind of, you know, reset mechanism for it and stuff meant that you had to do a lot of more technical stuff. But the iron farm I built in the first, like in 1.13, was so simple because it was just a bunch of villagers in a box, and you understood that after a while, if they didn't produce an iron golem, they would just do it. Like, if there wasn't an iron golem around, they would just make an iron golem, and that was a simple enough mechanic for me to understand. And it started me on a path of realizing that there were mechanics in how you could exploit mobs and stuff, like how you could use mob AI and like just game mechanics that work behind the scenes that didn't have to involve redstone circuitry. Because redstone circuitry is one of those things that I have a bit better of a grasp on now, and I know how to approach a problem when it's something I can solve with redstone. But I don't have any kind of background in, you know, electronics. I mean, I studied like a little bit of stuff at school, maybe in like technology classes, but it's the kind of stuff that doesn't come naturally to me. I'm more of a feel things out kind of person than I am a theoretical thinker. And so, understanding that there were some things that I could approach in a different way to the hard maths approach that redstone circuitry seemed like to me, kind of made more sense. In terms of building, like outside of technical projects, probably the castle at Founders Forge, because I learned a lot building that. I immediately wanted to build another castle. I kind of wish I had. When am I going to hunt for more netherite? When I feel like it. I don't really have any great desire to do so right now. I will also wait until I have a gunpowder farm, because I would honestly prefer to mine it with TNT. There are other ways of doing it which can be equally successful and we could do in the meantime, but I would much rather use the TNT method. It's more fun for me. I don't like the bed method at all. It's too volatile. You end up taking damage, you get set on fire, your armor takes a hit every so often, and you have to concentrate on it. It's the same as what I was saying earlier with turning the buckets of lava into obsidian. It's like, it's not a process I can get into a rhythm of doing and just zone out, because if I zone out, I make a mistake and then I end up blowing myself up. Whereas TNT is something you can set up a chain reaction, it's pretty satisfying to do. Obviously, you have to put a lot of work into gathering the materials for it. You can't auto-farm it the way you can wool and wood, but, you know, make a gravity block due per forehead. Like, it's something you can automate if you feel like you want to. But frankly, the whole TNT thing just works out better for me because it's something I can zone out and do on stream and have fun with it that way. You quite enjoy the bed method? I mean, fair enough. Like, I'm not knocking it for anybody else who prefers that. It's just not what I prefer. Just all the fire being everywhere and stuff is just, like, not my cup of tea. I don't have a haste beacon yet because I haven't fought the Wither yet. This is a Java world, and my tutorial series is based in this world, and so since I haven't discussed anything to do with the Wither fight yet, I don't have like an episode out about that, so I'm not going to fight the Wither without that. Like, I'm not going to do that because there's advancements and stuff, so like if I fought the Wither off camera or like on stream or something and then I went back and did an episode about it, it'd be pretty clear that I'd done it already. But I think I'm just going to hold off on the wither fight for now, do a little bit more stuff manually. And frankly, mining obsidian with haste when it's a small amount of obsidian doesn't make things that much faster. You save like 0.2 seconds on every block, so I'd maybe save like 2 minutes over the course of mining out, you know, another stack of obsidian. Is probably going to be enough for me. If I was mining all of the pillars down to the void like I did in the previous survival guide world, absolutely I'd use haste. But I wouldn't be doing that at this stage in the world. I feel like you've been more successful mining ancient debris with beds than TNT. That's honestly, like, mostly luck, I want to say. And maybe, you know, you're clearing out an area faster. Like, I feel like TNT is much more about distance than it is about coverage, because there's only going to be 1 or 2 veins of debris per chunk, so you're typically not going to find a whole lot of it if you clear out the whole area, but the bed is just a good way of exploding enough blocks that you get a decent radius. Thanks, Julia. I'm glad you're enjoying the survival guide. It is very, very fun to make. And again, for people who have just joined us, because I did mention this earlier, but we've been streaming for a little while now. I did not have an episode today. There are a couple of reasons for that, mainly that I was a little bit busier yesterday than I usually am. I also recorded a podcast where we interviewed Sliced Lime about his role in the Minecraft team, what he thinks of the stuff that they've done with the Deep Dark, and being a YouTube content creator while still working for Minecraft. Half-Hearted Hardcore and all the stuff that he's kind of been pioneering on Twitch and for the kind of data pack playing community and the challenge community lately. So that's most of what I was doing yesterday, was like preparing questions for that interview, making sure we had the show notes all kind of ironed out, and then the episode recording happened later in the day, so my usual routine was a little bit different. But yeah, all of the podcasts where we've managed to interview folks from Mojang so far have been fantastic. Like King B-Dogs was great, Henrik was great. Like, I'm really looking forward to talking to more folks in future if we can. Have I caught Giratina yet? Yes. I have so many thoughts about Pokemon Legends Arceus that I really wish that I had, like, any kind of outlet for other than just, like, talking about it on stream and on Twitter. But there's some really fun stuff in that game. Because, yeah, like, there's some stuff I noticed that it kind of... The realization kind of came gradually, but some of the stuff in that game works so differently that you're just like, oh, this game is kind of pulling, like, a wacky choice here for this trainer battle or whatever it is. But then you realize there are very deliberate reasons behind a lot of it. Any shinies yet? I have 2 shiny barrels, one of which that I think I evolved from a Bidoof, and then one that I just found. I obviously have the shiny Ponyta that they give you as part of the kind of side quest, and then I got a shiny Dustox the other day. I'm now at the point in the post-game where I'm catching the Genie Pokemon, so I just got Landorus, and now I need to go and find Tornadus and Thundurus, and then I know there's a 4th one. Yeah, I've been watching a couple of other people play, so I haven't seen, like, all the way to the final boss fight, but I might go and watch Joe Hills' playthrough at some stage, because it'd be really interesting to see how he reacts to a lot of it. But, yeah, one of the things I realized the other day, like, as I was still playing through the main story, is that there's stuff that it doesn't really, like... With Pokemon, they spoon-feed you a lot of information, right? There's a lot of exposition dump kind of stuff that happens, and frankly, if there is any story at all, it tends to happen that way. You tend to be told stuff instead of shown it, right? But one of the things I realized the other day is that they tell you a couple of things early, and then they develop those in really subtle ways later. Like the fact that, for example, nobody in Team Galaxy... Like, you're told this pretty early by... whatever your kind of, like, you know, the friend who's like the same age as you. It's Ray or Akari, depending on whether you pick a boy or a girl. Like, they tell you that nobody in the Galaxy team carries 6 Pokemon because they're not, like, good enough to, like, catch and tame and control 6 Pokemon. And so nobody you fight in the various trainer battles against people from the Galaxy team, nobody has 6 Pokemon. Like, even when you fight, basically, like, the final dude, who is one of the people from the Galaxy team, no spoilers for people who are, who haven't played the game yet and want to, you fight somebody from the Galaxy team towards the end of the game, and they only have 5 Pokemon. And it's like, of course, like, because, I mean, you've had 6 Pokemon from the start, and this guy, like, you fight him once, he has 4 Pokemon, and then when you fight him the second time, he has 5. The only person in the game so far, I don't know, like, all the way to the end, the only person I fought who had 6 Pokemon is somebody who's completely removed from that. And then everybody else, like, from the Diamond clan and the Pearl clan and stuff, like, everybody else, they don't use Pokeballs. And, like, the Galaxy team is supposed to be weird for keeping their Pokemon in Pokeballs, and you're sort of demonstrating why that is to these other folks. But that's why when you face off against people from the Diamond clan or the Pearl clan later in the game, they have 3 Pokemon that you're fighting all at once. It's because they don't have Pokeballs to put them in. And like, it ties into the fact that you can fight multiple wild Pokemon, like, if a bunch of stuff just gangs up on you. Like, I've fought 5 at once in one of those, like, space-time distortion things. And that's very intense, and I almost got my butt handed to me. But the fights with, like, look, I'm going to talk about what I want. Like, being like, please get back to Minecraft. Like, Minecraft is on the screen for you. We'll be playing Minecraft for 3 hours. I can talk about what I want for 20 minutes. Please calm down. Thank you. Like, the idea that the people from these teams, like, from the clans, don't have Pokeballs means that they send out all of their Pokemon at once when they fight you. And it makes perfect sense, but they don't, like, hammer that stuff home. You're just kind of told, oh, these people don't use Pokeballs, and then you fight one Pokemon at a time initially, right? And you're like, oh, okay, this person just has, like, 1 Pokemon, I guess. But then later on, you're fighting, like, 2 Eevees and 3, like, Evolutions in different battles. And there's one person later who has, like, a Rhyperior, a Magmortar, and something else. And you're like, wow, these are 3 really powerful Pokemon that you're sending at me all at once. Because they don't use Pokeballs. Like, it makes perfect sense. It's really odd, but once it clicks, you're like, I get that now, you know? Like, it's so weird. Just getting used to that stuff. It's just very, very odd to me. There's just a couple of things that I've noticed that I'm like, that's really subtle, but it works for the fiction of the game, and I feel like they should almost make a bigger deal of it somehow, but they never do.
Well,
It's very different from the normal mechanics. Why shouldn't you be able to send out more than 1 even though you use Pokeballs? I know, but, like, the thing is, you can while you're roaming around the map. Like, you can stop and just send out all of your Pokemon, and they all just kind of, like, hang out, and you can talk to them or whatever, and you can just look at them. But yeah, for whatever reason, they don't allow you to send out multiple Pokemon in battle. But then I think it's part of the way they balance that game in terms of its challenge, because yeah, you're having to deal with multiple Pokemon, sometimes Pokemon of different types. Like, it makes a whole lot of sense. It's very weird though. So, yeah, I'm going to head over here. We're going to find the coordinates of the portal that I've been using for the Dripstone Cave base. And I'm going to see how close that is to the coordinates of my central portal. Because I think this is like a detour, basically. I go back over that way in order to get to the Dripstone Cave base portal. So I think it's roughly about, like, here, maybe? Do I watch the Pokemon anime or just the games? I just play the games, and I don't play all of the games. I've only just got into Pokemon Legends. Like, I haven't played the Diamond and Pearl remakes. I haven't played any of the other games aside from Sword and Shield, really. I played Pokemon Blue back when it came out in the 90s, and then that was really it. I used to watch the original Pokemon anime, but that was only for the year I lived in the States. After that, I didn't really have access to it, you know? Just having a basic cable package in the States was like 20 times as many TV channels as I was used to from terrestrial TV in the UK. Like, the UK didn't really get kind of cable or satellite kind of TV with multiple channels like that until much later. We had like 4 channels when I was growing up. It was really weird when they added channel 5, you know? What pickaxe do I normally use, Fortune or Silk Touch? I tend to use a mixture of both, and like right now it's Silk Touch because I'm moving stuff around with like ender chests and things like that. Most of the time if I go caving it's Fortune, because then you can make resource blocks out of anything you mine and it lasts longer. Pokemon Blue, is this a coincidence? Is what a coincidence? Pokemon Blue is a status symbol in your kindergarten class. I was, what would I have been, like 11 playing that game? $128. 146. Okay, so like over here, basically. Yeah, that's way sooner. Any plans to tackle update suppression? Only if there is something that I can't do anything else with. You know what I mean? Like, if only if there's a mechanic that absolutely requires stuff like update suppression, because I think some of the time that stuff works differently in single-player worlds to how it works in multiplayer servers because of server timing stuff that I don't really know what it's capable of. Like, it's a methodology I do not understand, and my understanding in this series is kind of like the prerequisite to me doing any kind of tutorials about stuff, you know? Like, if I don't get it, then what is the point of me making a tutorial on it? Because I'm not going to be speaking from a place of experience. I'm just going to be copying what somebody else has made, and I don't want to take advantage of their hard work and their understanding of it. Rather direct people to those tutorials than try and recreate them myself and fail miserably because I don't understand. First remote control was wired to the television. We had an A and B channels. Do you guys remember CFAX? Do you remember teletext? If no, you're banned because you're too young. No, I'm kidding. But it was something that used to be on BBC TV and probably on Channel 4 as well. But there was like a text channel that you could basically tune into, and it would like give you updates on the weather and stuff. And it felt like a very early precursor to something like the internet, where you were just getting a series of, like, text updates on stuff through your TV. Weird time. Teletext was crucial for checking football scores. There you go. That's one of the primary markets for something like that, I think, is just, like, can I find out if Burnley beat Watford last night or whatever, right? Like, it's something like that. Alright, so here is our new nether portal. I'm not going to build the entire thing now because I do want to do this on camera. But this is going to be something of a demonstration. Fleur Baby, thank you for the 2 years. Ave with the 10 months. And Spark Zaki with a Prime sub. Thud with a Prime sub earlier as well. Thank you very much, folks. Okay, so yeah, from here, I don't know if we're going to do like a straight line to that portal or what. I haven't quite decided what this is going to look like yet. But now we have a slightly more direct route. Tomorrow's episode is, surprising no one, about connecting nether portals. So honestly, we could make more or less a straight line from that portal to that portal. Anyone here remember the dial-up modem noise? Yep.
Well, that's just prime.
Am I going to do a soul speed nether hub? My idea right now is to try and accommodate every possible form of transport. So we're going to have soul speed, we're going to have ice boats, we're going to have minecart rails, we can have room to fly with elytra, and then I think that's probably the most useful kind of things. But then it's like, my initial vision for the circular nether hub from Season 1 of Survival Guide was to have multiple layers to it, and one layer was running around with soul speed, another layer was, you know, ice boats, another layer was minecarts. It was more automated, maybe like a piston bolt layer or something like that. And like, just never got around to that because it was so much work, and I could do one episode on each concept. That was it, really. Have you ever had glitchy portals between the overworld and the nether? Define glitchy. Because I think I understand portal mechanics well enough now that I kind of understand what's going on whenever stuff like that happens. So what do you mean by glitchy? Would I decorate the nether hub? Yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan. True Purple, thank you for the 3 years. Gosh, I can't believe I'm saying 3 years to people. That's pretty wild. Gonna need one of these. Removing the nether portal up on the y-axis, it doesn't connect to the one created in the overworld. Well, it's probably, if it's having trouble connecting that, then it's probably not searching in the right radius for it. I don't know how nether portals react to being placed below 0 and above 256 now. Because they have a range that they search, but usually the radius in the overworld is quite large. As long as you've matched up the X and the Z coordinates, then you should be able to build the portal at any Y height and it will still connect. But you've got to remember it's connecting via like a radius that it's searching in. And I don't know for certain if that's like a spherical radius now that the world is that high. Could not tell you for certain. So I think we're going to move all of the portals up to Y68, so like starting them here basically, because this feels like ground level of the nether to me for some reason. Am I going to make a portal hub above the bedrock in the nether? No, probably not. Like, I'm going to make some portals up there, but I'm not going to make the entire nether hub up there. Because, again, it helps to have some variation in the Y height of portals so that you can connect them better in the overworld. Okay, so the actual obsidian that we step out of is at 68, so that's floor level, basically. There we go. Do I think the Warden should be able to break blocks so the player can't tower up? I don't think the Warden should be able to break blocks, because then people will just use it to break blocks. Like, people would find ways of having it break blocks for them. Like, I think if it would be more interesting if it was able to either, like, float or phase through blocks, or... Like, I'm imagining something like... Did you all ever play the Legacy of Kain games on PlayStation? Because in Soul Reaver, which was the first one I ever played, I never played Blood Omen 1 or 2, but in Soul Reaver you got the power to phase through gates and objects like that that were kind of thin. I love that series too. The writing in that series was so good. Like, the dialogue in it was always some of the most impressive stuff, and it was so well, like, voice acted and everything. But, yeah, if the Warden had the ability to kind of phase through obstacles or, like, float upwards in this sort of weird ethereal way, it could be very spooky, but would also prevent players from pillaring up to avoid it, right? So for it to be at Y68, we need to have this portal starting, like, there. Yeah. Gonna make them with the corners because I've got all the obsidian now. Nether portals are actually quite bright. It's the interesting thing about them. It's like 10 block light is pretty strong. Like, this corridor here feels quite well lit now, somehow. Because I've got a portal at either end and they're only, you know, 10 blocks apart. So this is where the other portal goes. It goes up here. Is there a preferable white leather for Nether Hub? It really depends where your overworld portals are built. Because the preferable level for the Nether Hub is really what is the most convenient, but there are some cases in which, for example, let's say you have a portal higher up in an area of your base and a portal at the bottom of your base. Say you build a portal to a beacon mine that is underneath your base. Or you build a portal to, like, a deep slate level cave underneath your base. Say you build a portal to the Deep Dark, because it turns out the Deep Dark is underneath where you've been building this entire time. Having those portals be in such close proximity, the game is only going to be able to determine which overworld portal takes you to which nether portal, and vice versa. Like, if you go through this portal, does it take you to your surface base or does it take you to your cave base? The only thing that can determine that is Y value, if the coordinates are closely enough matched. Like, if you're building the portals vertically on top of each other. So keeping some kind of variation in Y value is actually kind of important, which is, again, why I'm not using the nether roof. And so, like, the height of a nether hub doesn't really matter, except if you have situations where portals are going to be, like, relying on height in order to connect correctly. Have I played any of the Vampire the Masquerade games? As in, like, video games? Because I know there's a tabletop RPG, Vampire the Masquerade, which I've heard played on podcasts but never played myself. I'm also considering, because this portal was originally here and it was rotated 90 degrees from this, so the portal actually opened out this way instead of that way, I'm kind of considering rotating it back, because while this is convenient to have as like a corridor, this feels awkward to me for transport to everywhere else, but then there are 4 directions it can go, and one of them is this way, so I don't know if I'm really going to care that much, ultimately. There was a PC game back in the day. Interesting. Last day you went to the Nether, returned via the same portal back to the overworld, and came back in another portal. Can I explain that? Yes, and I will explain that in tomorrow's episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide, because that's kind of the discussion I'm having here. I built this other portal in the video over here by my storage system. I built the portal in the overworld first. And so, you know, when I went through here, I hadn't built the portal in the Nether that I just came through. And I went through here, and I ended up going through and coming out into the Nether at the portal that was already established over here that takes me to my house. And so I walk back through this portal, and I emerge in the overworld in my, like, Geode portal here. And so that's a demonstration that one portal in the Nether can link to two places in the overworld, and it's possible for that to happen multiple times. If your portals aren't synchronized correctly, if the coordinates aren't exact, that you can go through a series of portals and end up in a completely different place. Sometimes even which side of the portal you're standing in can make a difference if the other portal in the overworld is closer to that side than it is the other side. That's just the way it works. You can also auto-generate a portal in the overworld near your existing portal if it can't link to it for some reason. Which it's rare the circumstances in which it can, but typically the way that works is that you've broken the portal on the other side or it's obstructed in some way. How do portals behave if they differ only in the Y coordinates? Don't they clash? I mean, not if the portal in the overworld has a closer Y coordinate than the other one does. Like, you have to make sure that the Y coordinate matches as closely as possible if that's going to cause a conflict between two portals. Like, if you build two portals in the overworld, if you build one at build height and you build one at bedrock, then portals above Y 128 in the Nether are going to prefer to link to the lower portal. Right? And the portals above that are going to link to the higher portal, and portals below that are going to link to the lower portal. Sorry, I forgot which one I was talking about there for a second. Not sure where that one goes to. I guess eventually we will find out. Cheeky Pops, thank you for the 2 months. Acadian Bear, thank you for the 4 months. Just says, biggest fear in all caps. You know, dying in Minecraft. That's really it. Didn't ZF set up some sort of complicated single portal for linking to different areas of his cave base? Yeah, you can do stuff like that. Entirely possible to do stuff like that. That's the jungle right there. So this one, we can get the coordinates more exact. I think they're probably like over here somewhere. Always love stepping on that. Alright, let's open the calculator back up. And those coordinates are 396, because I know that's divisible by 8. Or, well, divisible by 4 at least. 396. And that gets us, yeah, 49.5, so 50 basically. So negative 50. And then we'll say 228. Okay, so negative 50, negative 28. Plus or minus decimal 0.5. Yeah. Okay. Doable. Heard the hissing noise and thought I stepped into lava for a second. It has been known. Certainly has been known. Okay, so 28 is... Oh, back in this direction then. Okay, that's easier. I was expecting it to be over this lava pit, but... so like that. And you're always going to go halfway into a block, basically, by standing in the middle of it. So 28.5 is right here. And then 49.5 is there. So, ideally we want to make this portal in this space. Don't know what that was, going to ignore it. Got ghosty blocks. Boop. And this should take us back through the same jungle portal. Doesn't it just? And now it should lead out through the portal we just made instead of the one that was there previously, which it does. Good. Good, it's going well. Gonna move on from this one. It's got a weird whiny thing that I don't like. Sorry about the noise. Do I label my portals in the Nether with signs? Not typically, because after a while I play in these worlds so much that I just start to get a feel for where everything is, based on like how far I've traveled and which portals I've been to regularly and that kind of thing. But it's helpful if you're just learning your way around for the first time, if you prefer to have written signage. Like if it works for you, then I recommend doing that. Thanks, Sunspot. I'm glad you're enjoying the spawn chunks. I'm very happy with the latest episode. It's really cool talking to Slice Lime. He's a guy who always thinks before he answers, and he gives some very thoughtful answers as a result, right? Like, even on streams, I think Sliced comes across as somebody who, like, thinks before he speaks. And so, yeah, adding him to me and Joel, who are just, like, motor mouth most of the time. I mean, Joel less so than me, but I talk for days about this kind of stuff. I have half-formed thoughts about so many things. I also need to... I built this in entirely the wrong place. I mean, in the right place, but it needs to be about 18 blocks up. So we actually need to build that up here, really. At Y68 or whatever coordinate we chose for the thing. Ah, now I need to deal with that. After saying I was going to ignore it. Okay. Yes, this just in, Minecraft player surprised as lava is in the Nether. After all of that careful planning as well. We need to be about here, I think. Or was it 28? 28.5. So like here. Let me check that real quick before I screw something up again. Yeah, 28.5, negative 50 is roughly in the middle. Okay, good dry run. This one's for real now. Cool. We'll go and get a hoe for some of these nether wart blocks. I decorate the nether side of the portals in a way to reflect the overworld side. I mean, we could do that, yeah. Like, I haven't really decided for certain yet what we're doing with some of this, but for now I'm just settling for safe paths between each of these, and then we'll figure out what the theme is going to be later. Also, haven't talked much about farming nether wood types yet, so we could do that at some stage. About, like, needing silk touch to get nylium and everything. Over there is where we need to be. And it's funny because, like, yeah, we're correcting the position of all of the Nether Hub portals to be on the same level Y height, roughly speaking, but the portal that it generated initially down there was way lower. Like, the Y height of this one is closer to what it is in the overworld than it initially spawned it in. It's just that there was so much nether foliage in the way that it didn't end up sticking with that as a position. Weird what the game considers a valid spawning position and not. It's up there is really where we are, isn't it? Yeah, let's go and get a hoe just so we can get rid of some of these nether wart blocks. Bum bum. Bum bum. J Lomin, thank you for the 6 months. This poor sheep out here getting rained on. Nope, that is not how you close your door. Sometimes having good-looking aesthetic, nice windows is a bit of a problem. Right. Where is Ender Chest? Or it's not in here. Yeah, there we go. May as well use the fortune one, even though fortune doesn't really apply here. Silk touch wouldn't apply either. Do I have a preference between Survival Guide 1 and 2? What? Whichever one I'm making at the time. If I preferred Survival Guide 1, I would go back to doing something in that world, I guess. But, like, no, I do not have... I do not have a preference. Oh yeah, they get mad when you break shulker boxes, don't they? Did not expect them to be that close. A little bit of peace and quiet. Yeah, the ones with the swords are lethal. Surprised my gold armor isn't breaking. Jump scared me. I didn't realize they were that close. Oh, good, you saw your health. Yeah, well, I'm hardly gonna expect Twitch chat to tell me my health is low in a video game, am I? Like, for a start, if I'm looking at Twitch chat, then we've got other problems. That's why I don't understand whenever anyone in chat is like, hey, the durability on your tools is low. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm playing the game. Much less my own health, you know? When did I enchant the hoe? I can't remember. I think it might have been on a stream at some point. Maybe. Yeah, what are you going to do? You're on a tree and I'm up here. How long was I in the US? I lived there for about a year when I was 11. It's when I got Pokemon Blue, actually. One day there'll be a flying pig waiting for me. One of these days. Decent amount of cactus in here now. Only one piece just lurking back here. But I haven't really been around this base as much since I built that. I don't know if that up there is too far away from the cactus farm. I don't think it is. Will this stream be for 2 hours, 2 minutes and 22 seconds? I mean, it's very tempting to just not stream for the last hour of what I normally would. What am I working on right now? I'm working on a series of paths through the Nether, which you could loosely call a Nether Hub. Mostly I'm working on stuff that we're laying the foundation for the future of transport in the Nether and how we're going to get from location to location here. I'm doing this work now to figure out what I want to do with some of this stuff later. Really. I might leave this, actually, because then I can do more explanation in a video. Imagine if Bedrock's multiplayer feature released on Java Edition. What do you mean? Like if you could just directly connect to other people's worlds? Without having to host a server? I mean, I guess. Imagine if Java's multiplayer feature released on Bedrock. Imagine if you could have a persistent Bedrock server. Oh wait, you can. It's not as robust as the Java version, but you can do it. I need a helmet with mending. This thing is getting worryingly close to breaking, and I don't want to repair it with gold. Okay, so we done that. Why don't I have Discord? I have a Discord account, I just don't have a Discord server. At least we can break quartz in peace without the piglins getting mad. Overworld portals this season are so pretty. Thank you. I really like the way the pair of them came out. Does holding golden items like swords or other things work? No, it has to be armor. It has to be stuff you have equipped the way you equip armor. I think here we can probably do a diagonal, more or less from this portal straight to the Soul Sand Valley, like this way. Which is going to be tough because there's lava in the way. Any idea why an iron farm wouldn't work in the spawn chunks? Every time you leave the spawn chunks, it stops working. Do you use Optifine or any other performance enhancement mod? Because Optifine has a setting that I think is called either Fast Math or Smooth Weld. I forget which one it is. But there is a setting in Optifine which basically improves performance by not keeping the spawn chunks loaded every time you leave. So if you use any mods like that, chances are it's just being effectively disabled every time. Yeah, Smooth Weld. Something like that. It's one of the options. I don't use Optifine right now, so I can't like point to it in the video settings menu. Like I'm not using Optifine. But yeah, there's one of those settings like that which does it. The villagers aren't freaking out? That's probably why, then. I don't know which iron farm you've built, so I can't really offer advice on how to fix that, but this iron farm works, like, regardless of where I am. The only time it could ever possibly not work is if I sleep too quickly at night and the villagers don't manage to get in bed because they're still freaking out about the zombie. But that happens so rarely. How can you zoom without Optifine? I mean, control the FOV slider like this, or use a spyglass. Or install a mod called Logical Zoom if you're not using Optifine because you're using stuff like sodium. Are the world spawn chunks always loaded in Bedrock Edition 2? I don't believe so. Or if they are, it's like a smaller area or something. Do I think Minecraft's gotten easier? No, I think we've just gotten better at it. Do the spawn chunks stay loaded even when the player is in the nether or the end? On servers, yes. In single player, no. The entire overworld dimension unloads when the player goes to the nether in single player. If you express today's date in a 7-segment display, it's an ambigram. It's also palindromic. You're palindromic. What's up, Seth? How are you? I heard a joke the other day and thought of you. I can't remember what it was now. The hoe needs mending? No, it's fine. It's fine as it is. I remember what I went to the overworld for. I keep going to and from the overworld, like I walked into a room and forgot what I came in for. It's fire resistance potions. On a server with 2 people, how would you set the sleeping status to 50%? I'm not going to be able to show you exactly because I don't have cheats enabled in this world, but it's game rule, player, sleeping percentage. I can't remember what about that is capitals and what is not. I think it starts without a capital P, but you can, or maybe it's just sleep percentage. You can tab auto-complete that, and then you'd set, like, 50. We climb, brothers. This is a little bit precarious because if I fall from this height, I will die. But I think we'll be okay.
Well, that's just prime.
It sure is. Avenged Moose with the 2 months. Thank you so much. Do I think both Java and Bedrock will eventually use the same mechanics? With some stuff, yes. With other stuff, almost certainly not. It's really difficult to say one way or the other because there's so much stuff that is dependent on the programming language and so many things where the developers don't seem to budge one way or the other on what is like intended mechanics and what is a happy accident that they're going to leave in the game because the community will complain otherwise. There's a lot of stuff like that in Minecraft. Alright, that's our lava source. Cool. We're good. Beautiful. Smooth as silk. I'll only be on fire for the next 7 hours. Actually, much less because I have fire resistance, which is, like, genuinely one of the revelations of Survival Guide Season 2 is that fire resistance makes it so you don't stay on fire for as long. Like, I knew that it reduced the damage, but honestly did not know a great deal about the fact that it like reduces the time you're on fire. How do I categorize brick in my storage? Right now I don't. I don't have a great deal of brick, so I have no need to categorize it right now. Honestly, it would probably go above clay. Because I have clay as a natural world block in my storage system. But it wouldn't be auto-sorted right now. Lingering potions are useless. True, but did you know that if a creeper blows up when it has a potion effect active on it, it leaves like a lingering cloud? In the same way that a lingering potion would? Only for a very brief amount of time, but it's quite a cool mechanic. I don't know what you'd use it for, but in theory you could have a creeper with like poison that if it blows up a player and the player doesn't die, it still inflicts them with poison, which is kind of interesting. I don't see enough people use mechanics like that for minigames. But it's mostly because creepers do enough damage on their own, you know? I feel like it'd make more sense on easy, where creepers wouldn't just flat out kill you by exploding point blank. Best way to kill a creeper is from a distance anyway. True. Can't really argue with that. Noise of picking up blocks is one of the best noises. Why do you think I chop wood every week? It's just a very good sound effect. In hard mode without explosive enchants, it should one-shot you. I mean, it does if you're not wearing armor anyway. I feel like even if you're wearing like diamond armor with protection, if it's like right up close to you, it usually deals a pretty hefty amount of damage. And then there's knockback and so forth, but honestly, as somebody who prefers the building side of this game, I'm much happier if I can get a suit of armor that means I don't die in one hit to most things that are just casually spawning in the overworld. Like, I would like protection to do what it says on the label. And there's also charged creepers, which are another thing entirely. But honestly, yeah, like if you buff creepers, then that ends up devaluing some of the stuff that they want to put in this game for, like, making stuff really damaging and scary, like the aforementioned Warden. Rick, thank you for the Prime sub. Charlie with the 7 months, thank you very much. Got hit by 3 creepers in a row, the third one killed you. The fact that it's even possible. Are we going to get the dance? Are we going to get the dance live on stream? The Hoglin hunt is on. Are we going to see them dance? No, you're just going to get mad at me. Fair enough. What are the chances of them dancing? Is it like 1 in 10? 1 in 4? What is it? Saw piglins solo Hoglin and dance by themselves. So sad. Hey, that guy was just happy. Just wanted to celebrate. Alright, are there any pig lads around who are gonna object to me doing this? Nope, we're good. We're in the clear. Man can't handle his own shulker boxes in the nether. Vupix, thank you so much for the 340. Appreciate that very much. Enjoying Survival Guide Season 2. Been playing on the side and having a blast. I'm glad to hear it. Always like to hear when people are playing along. We'll probably do a little better here if we just bridge to begin with. Especially since my fire resist potion is wearing off. And then we'll just add in blocks along the sides here. Yes? Can I help you, sir? So we could bypass the Nether Fortress if this works out. Which is good, because I'm kind of tired of walking past that blaze spawner and activating it every so often. It means we can cut it off and use it for a farm at some stage. Do I celebrate Boxing Day? I mean, celebrate Boxing Day is kind of a weird one, because I'm pretty sure the tradition of Boxing Day started as a bunch of, like, rich families boxing up presents to give to their, like, house servants and stuff. It's not really like a day for celebration in the same kind of way. It's like, I observe Boxing Day in that it's a day after Christmas and I eat a bunch of leftovers, but like there's nothing really to celebrate there as far as I'm aware. Unless you're one of the kitchen staff at Downton Abbey or whatever. Like, family always had a Boxing Day party, quite rare in the US. I mean, I feel like that's just extension of Christmas at that point. Not that I'm going to begrudge anybody celebrating stuff, because it's nice to have a party and have fun, but, like, that's just another day of Christmas. Originally, since Stephen's Day, the day after Christmas, churches would open up poor boxes to distribute the money people are given over Christmas to the poor. I guess, yeah, another reasonable interpretation. Your birthday is on Boxing Day, so you celebrate something. I mean, fair enough, yeah. If you have some other reason to celebrate, then go off, you know? Yeah, mostly what I'm celebrating is how good the meal I made the day before was and how happy I am I get to eat it again. Thought it was celebrating people who box. Yeah, celebrating boxers, specifically. Should really eat your lunch right now? Go eat your lunch. Do that. Now, is this at Y68? Nailed it. Okay, good. So we'll encounter this eventually if we keep bridging diagonally from over there, I think. Boxing Day, time to get in a fist fight, right? What is the best color you can turn my background? Whatever your favorite is. First rule of Boxing Day, don't talk about Boxing Day. Fight Club Day feels like a very different thing. Once we get back into mining this out, we'll find that we hit that tunnel, I want to say pretty quickly. There we go. So that leads us to there, from which we still need to go a decent amount this way before we hit the turn-off to this other portal I've made out there. So we could almost continue that diagonal. I think we'd be on point. Any idea when Empire Season 2 will be? I don't know. Internal, welcome in. Thank you for 2 years of support. Appreciate that very much. Hope you're well. Amazed that this pickaxe hasn't taken a bigger hit in durability. But there we go. Straight across here. And out that way. Oh, did not realize we were over this. Ugh. Not the biggest fan. I'm gonna fall into that later. I mean, hopefully not, but we'll see. Especially if I open my shulker boxes in front of these lads again. Where's our little platform that we made earlier? Because I feel like we're getting close to that point, but I don't want to overshoot that. That's like there. Oh, we could be on a collision course. Here is a general tip for people in the chat asking why there is no video today. If I haven't uploaded a video on a day where I typically would, go to my YouTube channel and click on the community tab, because more often than not, I have explained why there. Because I don't feel obliged to make that amount of content. I don't feel obliged to continue making 5 videos a week. I will probably end up stopping at some point, at which point there won't be any need to update it. But right now, since so many people are used to me uploading 5 videos a week, if I don't do that, I will explain why. So I do recommend reading that as like a general guideline if anything feels different about my upload schedule or anything like that. Or just in general, because I post notifications about going live there. Like if you're a regular YouTube user and you want to catch these streams more frequently, I usually post whenever I go live on Twitch, including for like special events and stuff. Toms, thank you for the 3 months. Do I have a life outside of creating videos for all my fans? Surprisingly, yes. But it's funny the amount of people who took the attitude to me saying, like, hey, my day yesterday was busier than I expected to be, so there isn't a survival guide video today. They were like, oh, it's okay, you can take a day off, you can rest. I'm like, I didn't say I took a day off, I said I was busy. Like, I had other stuff. Like, the podcast with Sliced Lime was still something I would consider work, you know? It just meant that I was too busy doing other work. The same will potentially be true of stuff like Hermitcraft recap when that happens. Like, when Hermitcraft Season 9 starts, like, any work I do on the Hermitcraft recap will not be, like... It's not like a day off, you know what I mean? I know people just want me to take care of myself, and I do. I know how to do that now. There's a certain amount of my mental health that is also thriving on account of actually having a new Minecraft update and being able to make videos regularly. Like, this is a tremendously satisfying thing. I think people often kind of assume that because you had to take a day out of your regular schedule for something, you are, like, having some time off and spending it, you know, on yourself, and it's like, that's not always going to be the case. So don't make that assumption. When you stay home sick from work and people tell me, "Oh, enjoy your day off." Exactly. Like, yeah, you're not enjoying it. You're sick. I feel the same about people telling me, like, you can take a day off if you want to. I'm like, I know. I know, and I frequently will. In fact, one of the things I've done to change my schedule around in, like, the last year or so, since I've been doing YouTube full-time, and my first kind of push into doing full-time YouTube was a tremendous amount of output. It's when the survival guide started being a 5 days a week series. I decided at a certain point, my partner and I sat down and said, like, so Friday is going to be the weekend, basically. Like, I couldn't always guarantee that I'd be able to take Saturday off as well, because Saturday I'd typically do the Hermitcraft recap, because that goes up on Sundays. But Friday is my day off. And I will try and take, like, a little bit of leisure time each day, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not working constantly the rest of the time, but it's still kind of nice to know that every Friday, regardless, I'm not going to be working. And sometimes I'll be like, you know what, I feel like I could do something else today. Like, I feel like I could play a bit of Minecraft casually. I feel like I could make a video about the Warden. Like, occasionally I break that rule, but, you know, sometimes if you've got a job you like, you do that. If you're your own boss. Haven't played Minecraft for years. Watching 118 Survival on YouTube has maybe start a new world. It's so different now than whatever previous experience you'd have had. I think it's really worth it to pick up Minecraft right now. See all of the new stuff they've done with terrain and everything else. And the little one follows up. Get out of here. Get gone. Get out of my nether tunnel. One way or the other, you're leaving. Is them a plural honest question? No. In this case, singular they. It's always really funny when you can tell a piglin has converted from a zombie piglin because they're carrying a crossbow instead of a sword. You're like, if it was a sword, then that could just be a regular zombie piglin. Obviously, we heard the horrendous screeching noises to begin with, but... Am I a fan of football? Which one? Are you American or British? Or from somewhere else? What do you identify as football? Are we talking Super Bowl or are we talking World Cup? Because if I watch any football, like soccer football, then it's usually World Cup. Maybe sometimes the Euros, but I don't tend to support like a local team in the Premier League. Even though Brighton do pretty well. Like, I live in Brighton, and Brighton are in the Premier League now, I think. Although that could change from week to week as far as I'm aware, so I don't know for certain. But yeah, I don't tend to watch a great deal of, like, Premier League football. How come that zombie pigman has an enchanted crossbow? Like I said, it was a piglin, it went through the portal from the overworld, and it got zombified. That is what they do. Brighton doing very well in the Premier League. Hey, good for them. Good for them. Am I planning to do another video on Survival Guide? Yes. I'm streaming on Survival Guide right now. Just because I wasn't able to do a video for today does not mean that the series is over. Imagine how good a guide I would be in Pokemon. I know nothing about Pokemon, that's the thing. Like, part of the reason I wanted to play Legends Arceus was just like, I don't know what half of the Pokemon from that generation are. Like, there are only a few that I really recognize. And most of them are the ones that carried over from Gen 1. The ones that they never seem to get rid of for some reason. Like, there's always a Pikachu, there's always a Magikarp. I'm like, these I recognize. The heck is a Buizel anyway? You know? Like, it's my vibe. Doesn't die in a non-hardcore world. Series over. I swore if I got to episode 50 and I hadn't died, that was it. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm so glad I built this centered. I feel like I didn't really look up and figure out where exactly I was digging this, and it turns out that I did build it centered. Dweezil, Zapper, Moon Units? I'm sure there's a Pokemon called Moon Unit. Is that just Clefairy? Clefairy is a Moon Unit. It's pretty tanky. If it's not a Bulbasaur, I don't want to know about it. I know, right? Oh, I miss Bulbasaur. I'm pretty sure you can get a Bulbasaur in Sword and Shield. Now that there's, like, the DLC. I just never bought the DLC. How's the pumpkin farm doing? We'll take a look. We'll take a look. Kind of at a loose end right now. I've been doing stuff in the Nether for 2 hours. I need a break. Let's hop down here. Oh, it's doing very well, it turns out. Very, very well. That means... Do I have any wood in here? I do. Means I should probably put a crafty boy in here and condense some of these melon slices into actual melon. It's really interesting seeing these kinds of blocks next to each other. Like, I wonder if we can do anything with that, or if it's just going to look awful and garish. You hear stories about people, you know, being put in rooms that have red and green checks on the walls, and then them going mad because of how the walls seem to be moving or whatever, right? It's too much visual stimulus. I wonder if we could... Yeah, we could end up decorating some of the Nether with melons. That'd be funny. Alright, we got those. A lot of pumpkins. A lot of melons. Genuinely forgot this was here. That's the problem with concealing farms in the landscape like that. You do occasionally forget they're there. Honestly, I haven't needed the melons and pumpkins this time around because we had other good villager trades, but... Trisha, thank you for gifting a sub, by the way. Which farm is better, Zombie Pigman or Enderman? For what? For XP? Zombie Pigman, probably. Obviously depends which version of the game you're in, but Bedrock Enderman farms aren't great. Zombie Pigman farms on Bedrock are actually pretty well developed. By the community. Let's put these in here for now. I still have not figured out where everything goes in this storage system, which probably means it's not a good storage system. Will I make a complete building for the storage unit? Yeah, I mean, it's not going to stay like open like this with half-built pillars and whatnot for forever. I'm going to pause the game for a second, just go run to the bathroom. Bear with me, folks. We'll be back in a few minutes' time. See you in a second. Hello. I just came up with a very, very good idea, which I'm hesitant to tell you about, but I'm probably not going to do it. But, like, I know Bedrock players don't have the benefit of being able to, like, hit escape and pause the game, right? Like, right now, let me put down a torch and show you. Like, the game is paused when I hit escape. You can see that torch isn't flickering still, right? And so occasionally, people in chat will freak out if I, like, hit pause and I go away. Because they're like, you know, what if a creeper sneaks up on him or whatever? What if he ends up looking at an enderman? And it's not going to happen. But you know how some streamers have the, you know how some streamers have the soundboards where they'll, like, play, like, people can cheer bits or whatever and play sound effects? And people get creeper jump scares and stuff that way. I want to creeper jump scare the chat at some point by just having a creeper sound effect play while I'm on a break, even though the game is paused. Just reverse that relationship slightly. I might also do it for whenever anybody tells me that my tools are about to break. I might just play the sound of, like, a piece of armor or a tool breaking, even though it's not. Just, like, have a soundboard. So that people are like, oh, your pickaxe is going to break. And I'll be like, no, it has 200 durability. It's fine. I mine 3 more blocks. And it just goes, tink. And then I'm like, I think that'd be quite funny. I'm a big fan of trolling chat. So yeah, we're going to have to do a lot of spawn proofing around here just to avoid hoglins being in this Nether Hub is my main concern right now. Especially when the piglins and the hoglins spawn next to each other, because that... There we go. That hoglin wouldn't really be... I couldn't deal with that hoglin. It's going to kill me one of these days. I couldn't really deal with that hoglin unless he was moving out from behind the piglin at that point. Hillary, thank you for that 4-month resub. Millie, thank you for gifting a sub as well. One time you made a hoglin farm, except instead of collecting the drops, it makes them fall in lava and die for revenge. What are you farming from this? Satisfaction. And I will have satisfaction. I guess this one can still be there because it's a pretty reasonable, like, you walk diagonally, then you walk here. It's not bad. So here's the real question. Is, like, what do we do in terms of theme? Like, I've got a couple of ideas, but I'm just kind of like, do I want to go with any of this? Gothic, futuristic, alien planet? Winter Wonderland? See, I kind of want... It's got to be something... For a start, we need a block palette that includes slabs or some sort of non-full block to make sure that I can, you know, run around here without there being spawns in here. Completely convert the tunnels into overworld. See, the problem is that the illusion is never really quite complete unless you're going overworld cave. Because the sky is one of the most important things about the overworld, and you can emulate that in some ways, but it's never going to look quite as good. Futuristic tubes. My problem with futuristic is it relies so heavily on glass, and the problem with Minecraft's glass is that it's made of blocks. Like, one of the things that is good about glass in the real world is that it can be shaped. Minecraft's glass does not let you do that. See, one of the things I was considering doing, because we've gone with the idea that certain nether portals, if not all nether portals, are like grown out of geodes in this way, or they appear inside of geodes for whatever reason, like, is to have the nether kind of be similar, right? Like, maybe you go with a mixture of quartz and, like, andesite, not andesite, amethyst crystals coming out of the floor, and you can have slabs that way, so you can spawn-proof an area. The amethyst buds would also spawn-proof blocks. That kind of thing. You can make it look like the ways from Wheel of Time. I'm pretty sure the Nether was originally inspired by the ways from Wheel of Time. I just don't know what they look like. I haven't seen the show. Portal is purple, amethyst is purple, no coincidence. Yeah, I mean, that's why I did the Geode portal thing, is because it looks quite good. But I like the idea of there being, like, this sort of crystal pathway sort of thing in the Nether. The problem is just that those blocks are quite, like, expensive to get hold of. We have an amethyst farm now, but it's not a particularly high-yield one and does require a lot of very manual maintenance. Speaking of which, I should go down there and see what's up. Weren't nether portals inspired by bleach? I don't think so. In the Wheel of Time books, the ways are a completely black void. Well, I mean, I guess I could do that. Take a lot of black concrete or something, I guess. So it's going to be featured in today's survival guide video. I mean, the survival guide video I will record today that will go up tomorrow, but yes. Oh, that wasn't a fully grown one. Oops. I need to get a different fortune pick for this. I need to get a fortune pick that doesn't have efficiency, so I don't end up risking breaking the budding amethyst at any point. Yeah, and the conduit is probably going to be a good idea. The problem is the conduit adds efficiency. It's the main problem with this method in general. That water is not always the most convenient medium for the player to be in, even though it's convenient for growing the geodes. So yeah, from that harvest, a decent amount of amethyst shards, I guess. I would almost prefer it if the budding amethyst blocks were like bedrock. Or they were like obsidian that they took a while to break. Just for the sake of convenience. I get that that's not the point, but a wooden pick with a conduit. But then the problem is you can only harvest a certain amount before it breaks. Like, yes, unbreaking and mending are a thing, but mending a pickaxe every time you use it is just kind of inconvenient. Is there a way to farm water-breathing potions? I mean, yeah, you can make a ton of water-breathing potions. It's pufferfish that they're made out of, and I have so many pufferfish just from fishing. But, like, yeah, I don't know. And yeah, Amethyst is easy to break in real life, which is how come, yeah, like a netherite pickaxe or a pickaxe made of diamond is probably going to break an amethyst bud pretty easily. Make 50 wood picks and enchant them all with Unbreaking and Fortune 3. I mean, it is feasible. I don't think it's very practical, but it is, like, possible, I guess. So we can put these in here, because these are all related blocks. I think we might end up doing more, like, composting stuff with the nether wart eventually. Here's Simmer Vicky, thanks so much for the 4 months. And D Fowler with the 12. Everyone spam the word nerd in the chat. We have a brand new nerd to add to the collection. Enjoy your brand new nerd sub badge. Welcome to the Nerd Herd. Let's throw the cobblestone in there as well. So, other portals we need access to. I mean, I think the most obvious one is the Stronghold. Because we spent a long time looking for that earlier. So I think we need to find it again so that we can rebuild the portal and make a path to it. I think that was out in this direction, right? Because that was... yeah, it was kind of on the way to the... to the desert portal. Like this way. Past the Nether Fortress. That way. And then sort of this way a bit more. That's a good point, actually. Like, I wonder if this could be more or less a straight shot to that portal. Or even going directly from here.
Well, that's just prime.
Moomin, thank you so much for the 2 months of Prime. Best recommendation YouTube Twitch ever managed. Learned so much in the last few weeks. Looking forward to seeing what else you can do in the game. Heck yeah! We are going to do a whole lot of it. Having a little bit of Nether Fortress intruding on our plans here. Don't really care about preserving the structure, though. Even funnier if we have, like, wither skeletons and stuff that we can just chop out with a sword every so often. The blazes might be a problem, but... there's a flint and steel in case we need one. Blaze around that corner. Oh, that's... Getting a little bit more unsavory, that one. As is this. Yeah. Nailed it. Yo, Hart Sinclair, thank you so much for gifting 10 subs. Out of nowhere. Thank you so much. Folks in the chat who just got gifted a sub, make sure you thank these very generous sub gifters for hooking you up with the emotes, the sub badge, all of that good stuff. Yeah, not feeling this without a fire resist potion. Like, we could manage, but I'm also not that keen on dying, so. Or a Elytra, I guess we could do with a Elytra. Might as well do it this way. Oh, what on earth? Cosmic! What are you doing? Cosmic, thank you so much for 22 gifted subs. How appropriate. Put these in here for now, just in case. Really appreciate that, thank you. That's level 2 of the hype train, absolutely smashed. Halfway through level 3, gosh. Big fan of deep slate slabs. What kind of deep slate though? Because there's all of the variants of it. Like, I like the tiles a lot. See, this is what I'm worried about, is blazes fireballing me at this point. Ravenfire Gaming, thank you so much for the 900 bits. Fretball Freak with a Prime sub as well, thank you so much. Blaze crackles. Alright, then we chop the top off of this. So this is naturally going to create potential spawning spaces for Nether Fortress mobs within the boundary of our hub, in theory. But we can always do more with that. Peregrine, thank you so much for the 2 gifted subs. If only you could place blocks in front of your bridge like in Bedrock. Honestly, I don't mind this. I've just gotten so used to Java bridging, but I also don't want to get too overconfident with bridging to the point where I would start running forward and placing blocks in front of me and then skip one, you know? Giant Scorpion, thank you for the 222 bits. Pan Bunny gifting 2 subs as well. I see what the theme is. I'm getting a feel for what the theme is. There we go. I knew this lot would turn up. Wasn't expecting 4 of them, but still. And this is why I carry a shield. Think I might have got that one. Guess we'll find out in a minute. There's our portal. We need this to ideally be at a closer height to the rest of our hub as well. So that's going to mean a fair amount of lava lake bridging. But I have faith. In what, I don't know. Small Cats, thank you for the 100 bits. Hillary, thank you for the 190. Very easy to miss one somehow and just step right at the end, like walking the plank. Yeah, just like not paying attention to how many blocks are in my inventory or something. I feel almost certain I would do that. Well, this is in the way. And I don't have any more netherrack right here because I didn't break out as much of it as I expected to. I don't want to make this 3 blocks high because that invites wither skeleton spawns. In the sections with corridors, at least. So let's go back to the storage system and grab some more netherrack for now. Stang Rider, thanks so much for the tier 1 sub. Our Cornish Zetar, thank you so much for the 100 bits each. So close to finishing level 3 on the hype train. 20 seconds left. Hillary gifting a sub. The hype train is saved. We're moving on towards level 4. How far can nether creatures spawn? Same as the overworld, 128 blocks. There's just a lot more landscape around you that they can spawn in, so sometimes the spawns get more spread out over a wider area, because, like, in the overworld, it's all just going to be underground, right? They can't spawn in the sky. Whereas in the nether, they can spawn above you, below you, basically wherever. How do you give bits? First of all, you got to buy them because it's effectively like Twitch's in-house currency. I believe some people can also farm bits by watching ads, but that's never really been a thing for me, so... Prepare the hat. I mean, I'll prepare the hat once we reach level 5, but don't get ahead of yourself. Devon, thank you for gifting 2 subs. Ellie Swan with 1,000 bits. Waka with the 2 months. Thank you very much. See, this is what I need to spawn-proof against.
Well, that's just prime.
Or is it a good thing that we occasionally get blazes? Nope, not a good thing. Definitely not a good thing. Now die! Peregrine, thank you for the 222 bits. There's a convenient blaze spawner to go to. We don't need them on the path. True. This whole area also is still Crimson Forest, even though we're over a lava lake. Oh my goodness. Anastasia V, thank you so much for the 6 gifted subs, and Ave with the 10 gifted subs. Oh my goodness. Well, we're at 75% on the level 4 hype train. Ravenfire is gifting 5 subs. We're at 90% on the level 4 hype train. Make that 91%. Stang Rider 89 gifting 5 subs as well. Alright. Maybe it's Stan G Rider, I'm not sure. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's Hype Train. I am your conductor, Pixelriff. My partner is streaming in the room next door and definitely heard that, so hilarious. Jessica Saurus, thank you for the 100 bits. Trisha with the 500 as well. Thank you so much. You folks are the best. I need to take the coordinates of the Stronghold portal so I can move it to a more accurate place. It may even be that the Stronghold portal makes sense to be out here, and the game just didn't want to spawn it above a lava lake. So, we're going to have to hop down here. Thank goodness I had my elytra on. And we'll pop through here and take the coordinates of the portal. It is quite low down in the world, this one. But let's get the calculator out 1 second. There it is. And let's open that up. So, we got 1894, we'll call it. Divide that by 8 and we get 236. So 1896 is divisible by 8. That gets us 237. And then negative 245. Negative 30.75. Okay, so 237, negative 30. Where are we at right now? 237, negative... Yeah, negative 30 is out over the lava lake. And 237 is a little way back along this. Ow! Yikes. Yeah, I've not done a great deal of flying for a while. Can you tell? Thank goodness I still have gold armor on. 237 is like right here. Oh, so it's like where this lava fall is, basically, or it's like there. And then negative 30. Yeah, okay. Well. I do have a fire resist potion on me, so we could take care of this, actually. Much as I want to fling myself into the ceiling, I think it's probably better if we do this. Cool, thank you for the 100 bits. Hopeless Dove with 100 bits. Shadazar with the 5 gifted subs. Stream96 gifting a sub. Valkavinia with the 200 bits. Thank you very much. Yeah, it would be right next to the lava stream, wouldn't it? Yeah, the coordinates being inconvenient. It happens. Sure does happen. Gone for half an hour and you missed the choo-choo. It's still here. You can still do it. Does Depth try to help with swimming in lava too? I don't believe so. It certainly feels very slow. Alright, and we're on our way down. We should just land comfortably on the bridge again. Pigaro, thank you so much for gifting 3 subs. Just check I didn't miss anything else. That Rogue, Trisha, Jessica Saurus, thank you all for the bits. Hillary gifting another 5 subs. What on earth, you guys? Alright, so that's 237 exactly. So we really want it to be like here, basically. And then negative 30, 31-ish. Like here. Cool. That should go to the Stronghold portal. The question is, does the Stronghold portal still go to that? Oh my goodness. More stuff is coming through. Hopeless Dove, thank you for gifting 5 subs. Jade gifting a sub. Small Cats gifting 5. 66% on the hype train. I wonder how many people are going to try and get their hype trains to 222% today, or something like that. 20 seconds left. Fleur Baby gifting a sub. Thank you so much. Alright, well at least now I can't miss this path, basically. It's got hoglins up here and everything. Gosh, we need to spawn-proof this. Well, that's going to be another lesson for this week. Yeah, try it. Trisha, thank you for gifting another 5 subs. Sam Garofalo with 100 bits. That is level 4 of the hype train. Some level 4 emotes for you folks. Thank you all so, so much for the incredibly generous hype train. But the hat is going away. I just needed to get out of the nether before I took it off. There we go. Oh, the hat only stays on if we complete level 5. That's the way this works for anybody who's new. I'm just going to mend my bow because this is relatively low durability now, so I think it needs repairing. Do I have a spare around here? I do not. I got 61 levels from the dragon fight still, so I might as well. We need one more stick. I'd have a skeleton spawner to get free bows from, so... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Is Lua? Elua? I'm not sure. Thank you for the 128 bits. I appreciate it. It's 2 stacks of bits. It's a lot of bits. We had 2 hype trains. Flow of bows is an underrated benefit of a skeleton spawner. Yeah, especially since you can make broken bows into dispensers now. Like, that never used to be a thing. It's not from this update, but it's from a more recent update, like 1.15, 1.16. One of the kind of quality of life changes. Right, we can put that back now. What we got in here? Bit more nether stuff. Chuck the obsidian in there. And we'll throw this in here. Bones in mob drops. Have I died any in this world? Nope. Still not dead. Look at the statistics here. Number of deaths, 0. Mob kills, 3,280. Pretty good KD, if you ask me. Andy, thank you for the 100 bits. Got an idea for a project, a birdcage. Enclose all flying mobs, ghasts, phantoms, bats, parrots, and chicken in a building. Do chickens fly? I feel like they float downwards, but they don't tend to fly a whole lot. I like the idea of the birdcage, though. Sounds like a fun way of doing it. Never knew about those statistics. Yeah, there's some really fun ones in here. Like cake slices eaten. We've not eaten cake in this world yet. I've rung 1 bell, and that was to demonstrate that you can. I've opened 1,488 barrels. I've not cleaned any banners or armor pieces. My armor must be filthy at this point. Done a lot of cow breeding. Searched many dispensers. Taken a lot of damage. Dealt a lot more damage. Look at the percentages here. Like, this is almost proof that I shouldn't use a shield. Because I don't block nearly as much damage as I take. Although there's some damage that can't be blocked with a shield, I guess. How do you clean armor? In a cauldron, you can wash dye off leather armor. That's what it means. Mad potted plants. 14 potted plants. Let's take a look at some of these other ones. There's like a lot of distances that you've traveled or climbed or whatever. I've interacted with an anvil 62 times, some of which was probably like multiple takes. I don't think I've repaired things 62 times, unless that's what that means. 1,001 things crafted in a crafting table, or at least 1,001 interactions with a crafting table. Once with a loom. I can't remember what I even did with the loom. I think I probably just opened it to be like, hey, this is what a loom GUI looks like. I've jumped 129,000 times. I've never played a note block or tuned one. Or played a music disc either. I'm waiting for other side for that. Raids, triggered raids, 1, obviously 0 currently. I've hit no targets. That's what my YouTube statistics tell me. Smelly Armor, thank you for the Prime sub. That's a very convenient time for you to be in the stream. Whoa, what happened there? That was like the weirdest water landing I've ever done with the Lytra. That was wild. Self-burns, those are rare. Should get 1 to 2, 2, 2, 2. I'm trying to think what the... I can open a barrel 600 more times. I don't think any of these are close enough to 2,000 without going over. Talk to villagers. I guess I can do that. But, yeah, maybe not in the next 20 minutes. Introduced to your YouTube channel via your Every Death in Minecraft video a little over a month ago. Been binge watching Survival Guide Season 2 since. As a new Minecraft player just the past year, it's really helped me. Thank you. Well, thank you for coming in here and subscribing at a very apropos time. Your timing is impeccable. I look forward to seeing more of you. Right, I'm going to switch back to my my armor. I feel like the elytra is good to have as a safety net, but typically trying not to use it too much because I don't have much in the way of fireworks these days. Should probably put the fireworks away now, now that I think about it. No new episode today. Nope. Check the community page. If ever there is a new episode and you're like, why hasn't he uploaded? Check the community page. Creeper farm coming soon? Maybe. I mean, general mob farm first, because you need general mob farm in order to understand how creeper farm works, I think. Is tomorrow's episode going to be about the Nether Hub? It's mainly about linking portals to the correct locations and making sure coordinates match up and stuff. But, like, aside from that, yeah, it's going to be the setup for what will eventually be more Nether Hub progress. Did I see the Hermitcraft Town Hall stream on Saturday? No. No, I didn't. Where's left? Because over here, obviously, we have the, the portal to the desert is over here somewhere. Need to remember I don't have my elytra on right now, so I can't just leap off the nether fortress to go looking for stuff. Because this goes up, goes left, goes over the Crimson Forest here. Of course, past another hoglin. This goes out this way, and I think this is the path that goes all the way out to the desert. Baby hoglin? These guys. Mischief. If they're over lava. Where do you listen to or watch the Hermitcraft recap? Just search Hermitcraft recap on YouTube and you'll find it. Is it this one? Where does this go? Oh, the jungle temple, of course. In the desert one's in a bit of a different location. Hey, Ocelot. Don't see those every day. Where's the exit here? Yeah, this place. I like this place a lot, actually. Might be a cool place to do a big build sometime. There's a lot of areas of this world where the water creates this kind of very circular, almost like harbor feel that I think we can do some really neat stuff with. Sub notifications are still trying to catch up. They do that. At some point, I'm going to switch over to Stream Elements, and I'm going to streamline some of those so that gift subs show up as one notification instead of thanking everybody for subscribing who just got gifted a sub. Because it goes on for a while, but I kind of like that in a way, though. It's kind of nice to show the sheer scale of some people's support. Did I ever check the lush cave under this jungle temple? I don't think so. Wouldn't have really had any need to. Like, I think I do want to make a base in a lush cave at some stage, and it'd be interesting to scout for those locations, but I also don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Like, I want to make sure I approach things one at a time instead of getting really enthusiastic about another idea that takes me away from whatever my current base is. Speaking of which, we should probably go back to the dripstone cave. But I guess the problem with that is I haven't established the new portal to it yet, and I want to do that in a video, so... This is going to be a problem if I don't take it out first. Yeah, I need a bit of height on this. There we go. There's a feel, you know? I think we're all caught up now. I think the... Oh, wait, no, there it is. There we go. Turning away before the arrow hit. I mean, when you know, you know. And in this case, I knew that ghast was going down. Started playing Minecraft Java with the release of 1.17. Is it me or are jungle biomes much more numerous now and deserts are the rare biome? That's my experience too, although it could be kind of anecdotal. I just find that there aren't... The way Minecraft generates biomes is based on humidity and temperature, which are two very separate things. And so, like, a hot, humid biome is a jungle. A hot, dry biome is a desert or a badlands. And I find that those tend to be, like, the extremes of temperature. And so they only occur in small patches and everything else kind of, like, flows more easily between the other types of biomes. Because, you know, the humid biomes, like jungles, can segue very easily into temperate biomes like forests or like other humid biomes like swamps. And the desert doesn't have a great deal of stuff to like pair with. Previously, if you were looking for a jungle, you would go to a desert or a savanna and check around the edges. Now it feels like you have to kind of look for a desert amongst all of the jungles. Then again, you don't really need a desert for anything in early game unless you want a ton of sand, and sand is still freely available from beaches, which are larger in this update, and so forth. So you could even, if you are having trouble finding one, save a desert until after you've found an end city, like after you've gone to fight the dragon and you've got your elytra, and then you could fly around and you'd probably find a desert more easily. What's the difference between a bow and a crossbow? In Minecraft terms, bows have variable attack power because they deal more damage the more you charge them up, whereas crossbows do a single attack of always the same power. You can't put power enchantments on a crossbow, so it always deals the same damage. What varies that is the type of arrows you're using, if you're using like tipped potion arrows or whatever, and you can fire multiple arrows from a crossbow with an enchantment called multi-shot. The other difference is that bows need to be drawn back and fired, whereas crossbows, you load them. You're carrying around a loaded weapon. You can fire it instantly, and then it takes time to reload. So bows have a charge up, crossbows have a cooldown, if that makes sense. Toaster, thank you for the Prime sub. Firework crossbows can be devastating, especially with multi-shot. Yes, yeah, crossbows can fire fireworks. That's the other major difference. And fireworks can be loaded up with multiple fire charges or firework charges to be pretty damaging. Love my 119 video, best one on the update. Thanks, that was just cut down from a stream we did here on Twitch last Thursday. Sophia Code, thanks so much for the tier 1 sub. Very kind of you. And I think we're probably going to wrap up the stream pretty soon. I'm just going to hang out and chat for a little while longer because I'm sort of done with the stuff I wanted to do and ready to get back into episode recording shortly after this. Shield is almost broken. No, the shield has like 70 durability left. It's fine. I don't use it often enough that I'm going to break it within the next couple of combat, you know, attempts, so I'll be fine. IRL crossbow fans are probably not too happy about keeping a crossbow loaded for a longer time. Yeah, I expect there's a lot of it that isn't especially realistic, but then, you know, these are enchanted weapons and stuff. Built an iron farm, killed a pillager captain, had the bad omen effect, and didn't think about it when going to check the farm. Yeah, and then you get a bunch of like ravagers and stuff spawning in your your area above the villagers. I expect they probably wouldn't, like, damage the villagers much, would they? Or the iron golems would spawn and take care of them, but I expect most of them would just end up in the lava. Yeah, shield break sound. Yeah, I really need to get that sound effect on like, a soundboard or something. That'd be so funny. Any chance of bingo today? No, I'm about to finish. We're done, like... Typically, my streams end at 6 p.m. my time, which is in about 7 minutes or so. Unless I could do a 7-minute bingo run, I don't think it's going to happen. Got to study? All right, Smarty Helen, have a good one. Yeah, I'm going to go look for somebody to raid while we're here chatting. We can chat for a couple more minutes. How does everyone feel about the Warden snapshot? I know a lot of people are saying, like, yeah, the Warden's got a bit more work to do on it. Like, it's too easy to cheese right now. That kind of stuff. I assume that there are going to be changes made. If you could make a combination iron farm and raid farm, I mean, maybe. I feel like it would compromise the effectiveness of one or the other aspect, but you could make it if you didn't care that much about efficiency. Warden makes me not want to mine. Honestly, like, it's so hard to find the deep dark. Like, let's actually do something real quick. Before I wrap up here, we'll probably raid False Symmetry after this if she's still streaming. Because, yeah, there's not that many other people that I follow streaming Minecraft right now. But I'm going to open up the Deep Dark Experimental Snapshot very briefly. We'll load up a world and we'll see how close the nearest Deep Dark biome and Ancient City are using commands. Because I want to do like a sample of this and try and figure out how close the Deep Dark is really. Because the reason, like, part of the reason I didn't make a more... Part of the reason I didn't make a more involved video, I just edited down that stream, is that I tried maybe 4 or 5 different worlds. I tried to find the Deep Dark in survival again, like we did on the last stream, and I just couldn't find it. Like, it was... Like, I took some screenshots from this one, so we'll just delete that. Yeah, it was genuinely, like, an hour or 2 of searching a world. I got geared up, I went to diamond level, got myself, you know, a pickaxe, decent armor, a shield, all of that stuff, and, like, I just couldn't find the Deep Dark by searching for it. Like, I didn't know where it was. And, like, at one point I found a Deep Dark biome. Like, I gave up, switched on commands, searched for a Deep Dark biome, didn't have an Ancient City. The nearest Ancient City was thousands of blocks away. So, locate biome, Deep Dark. Nearest Deep Dark is 3,901 blocks away. Nearest Ancient City, basically at those coordinates, right? So already we're looking at search for a stronghold without any guidance. And this is the other thing I am curious about. I am wondering if they're going to put anything in-game that helps you find an Ancient City. Because I got incredibly lucky on that live stream to have gone there in survival, found it within a 20-minute stretch, and then been able to explore an Ancient City for an hour. Like, we could have been there for hours more if I had stuck with that and we hadn't found it, but I lucked into it. In this case, we have to luck into it 3,000 blocks away from our spawn point. Let's try a different world. Not in hardcore, thank you. Let's just load this up without a name. I do have wonderful live stream luck. I mean, this is a live stream, and that one was 4,000 blocks away. Locate biome. Deep Dark. Nearest Deep Dark is 1,100 blocks away. Nearest Ancient City, again, roughly those coordinates. So that's okay. Nice looking world. Yeah, good mountains nearby, that kind of stuff. But you'd have to travel in the right direction to go and find that. Towards positive Z. About, yeah, 1,000 blocks. Deviate a little bit that way. A little bit west, southwest. One more. Ooh, ew. Stone Shore biome. Bit of an overhang. Not the prettiest. Spawning on stone with birch all around us. What a wonderful start. Let's locate one more deep dark, 4,000 blocks away. Ancient City, 2,000 blocks away. So how is that not the nearest deep dark biome? Game? Riddle me this, Batman. Mysterious frame. Also, this is something that I think needs to be fixed. Is the presence of aquifers and lava around this. Really interesting, though. You can see where it's carved out the spaces for the rooms. And again, I don't know if that's something that's going to change. Perhaps not. But this is Dripstone Cave. But this biome right here is deep dark. Like, the game generates a deep dark biome around the ancient city. Snowy tiger, deep dark. Snowy tiger there. It basically creates a large-ish bounding box of deep dark around where the city can generate. But yeah, I'm curious why the commands didn't think this was the nearest deep dark biome when the coordinates to the ancient city are closer, but still. Well, that wool's going to be on fire soon. I do love when the cities have dripstone features in. It's pretty neat. I am curious, though, because, like, if we go up here, this is dripstone caves right here. And then once we get to where the skulk generates, that is deep dark. But then that means mobs are just going to wander in from here into these areas very easily. Like, if I go into creative mode, stuff's going to spawn around here. And people have already talked about the bats, but even stuff like, you know, zombies, skeletons. Like, they're going to end up summoning the Warden. It's got catalysts and sensors in here. Yeah, I still think this loot feels like placeholder to me. It just doesn't feel like the same arrangement of stuff. I do like the skulk blocks a lot. I'm planning on doing some cool builds with these. They're very, very neat looking. The fact that the texture is animated too is so nice. But yeah, these dripstone areas. Zombie just kind of like wanders in. Trips all of this stuff. Oh, in this case, wanders off a block, but... Oh, zombie horse. There we go. This lad's going to get the Warden sicked on him. The minute he moves again, he's toast. Watch this zombie walk around. Oh, he's zeroing in. This is quite an interesting example of how this would work for the player, though. Warden just Mario stomps on his head. Yeah, that's what you'll get. You'll get the Warden wandering off into other caves, because that skeleton is running around down there. Quick, raid the city! It's going to be very interesting to see what players can bring with them to be like distractions for the Warden in spots like this. That'll be fun. This seems to be going constantly, I think, because the lava is like lighting fires around here or something. I do think it's very neat that there are sculk sensors with like waterlogged sections in there so that you can't. It both indicates that there is a redstone mechanic at play here because the sculk sensor is emitting redstone, but also that you can make sculk sensors silent by putting them in water. It's very cool. Can you just put down a boat? No, they don't get in boats. Boats and minecarts don't work. Unbreaking Smite Law. I think they probably... There he is. I feel like they should probably take out any of the enchanted books in here that aren't Swift Sneak, because it seems kind of annoying if you come down here, you raid the entire thing. Oh, look at Geode. That's going to be like the Warden's little playhouse. The amount of, like, Amethyst jingles keep the Warden satisfied for days. Yeah, I'm curious. I think the idea that you come down here and you'd raid all of the chests and you still wouldn't get Swift Sneak is kind of like, yeah, you should probably make sure that's at least a guarantee in one of these chests. I don't think it is possible to summon more than one Warden at once, at least not within a certain radius. Like, if people summon them using commands or spawn eggs or whatever, then fair enough, but nothing's tripping the streakers now. Unless multiple players would do it, you know? Unless there's a cooldown and you keep one Warden busy, make sure it doesn't despawn, that kind of thing. 24 block range? Okay, interesting. Let's try that over here. Oh, you're right, I see it. I can see that happening. So right now there's one here, one over there. Oh, okay. Right. So it's not going to work that way. Neat. Okay. Good. I'm still learning. Still learning a lot about this. I haven't watched like everyone else's videos where they unpack every mechanic because I'm just curious. But nice. Anyway, got a little distracted there. We're going to raid False, like I said. We're just going to hop over to False's stream. False has been streaming Hardcore Vanilla 1.18.1 and is presumably gearing up for the next season of Hermitcraft, but no spoilers, I'm sure. Give False my best. Don't forget to use your Pixel Hype emotes and the hashtag PixelRaid to show some love. For those who know my partner is currently streaming in the next room, is playing a bit, is writing out Lord of the Rings by hand over on twitch.tv/celeryman. Note that the community over there is not family friendly, unlike False's community, so I'm going to send you folks over there to keep in the Minecraft vibe. And I'll see you guys on Thursday for another stream. Hope you have a good week until then. Take care. My name's been PixelRiffs. I'll see you folks soon. Bye for now.